think it's important for us to learn to love all our insecurities. Whether these insecurities affect us physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, I think it's important for us to learn to love the things that we dislike the most about ourselves. To love the things that we fucking hate about ourselves. Not only embracing these insecurities to make ourselves feel like shit, but actually coming to the realization that these insecurities make us human. To fully understand that we are not perfect and we will never fucking be. Insecurity is an emotion that we create ourselves, and insecurity itself is rooted in our own doubts and fears. And I believe a lot of it stems from our childhood. I believe a lot of it could stem if we were being bullied. But I also believe a lot of it is through our own negative self talk and the way, we talk to ourselves. Because we could be our own fucking bully. Shit, I done fucking beat myself up all the time, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure anybody who's watching this feels the same way. But I believe if we learn to love the things that we dislike about ourselves, we realize we don't need anything to make us feel whole or to make us feel validated. I believe a lot of it now, especially in today's society, is that we look for validation through society. For what society tells us that is beautiful. And I think if we could validate ourselves and be able to fill our own cup with love, be able to love ourselves enough, we don't need no validation. You know what I'm saying? We don't need any attention. I like to believe that insecurity loves misery. When you fall into the habit of disliking yourself, disliking your creativity, you're only opening more doors for other emotions to walk in. Other emotions like jealousy, like envy, these emotions that create low self-confidence in the self, right? And I feel when you're consumed by these emotions and you're just not fucking aware of it, you only make things more difficult for things to enter your life. I think a lot of times when we are dictated by our emotions and insecurity being an emotion, I think, you know, we just kind of let it take control and we fall back and we don't take any control, forgetting that we have the control. We have to understand that we have the control, and we have to be able to take our step and fucking push each leg forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't be dictated. But I also believe that insecurity, you guys let me know, but I think insecurity can be a good thing too, depending on how you look at it. And the reason why I say that is that it could show us the things that we don't like about ourselves, right? And knowing that we don't like these things, but understanding that we have the ability to change it, right? I feel for a long time one of the things that I did not like about myself was the way I spoke in front of the camera. Honestly, it was the way that I spoke to people in general. I was very awkward. I'm still fucking awkward, but it's just like, um, it was just a part of myself. I wanted to change, and I think having an insecurity, it's okay. I think if we put enough love into the insecurity, we could change it, and maybe we don't have to change it. Maybe we could just love ourselves for who we are. But maybe it's just something that, like anything else in this world, we just got to work on it to make ourselves better. And that's what I did. I started creating these videos because I wanted to be better in the way that I spoke, and hopefully, I am doing better. I think I am. But my point is that you can be whoever you want to be, and I think a lot of the fucking time we can restrict ourselves, believing that we have to be a certain way, we have to be this old version, we have to be what people think of us, right? But that's not the fucking case. You could be whoever you want to be. You don't have to restrict yourself. And I think a lot of times insecurity restricts ourselves from being, the person that we want to be, the better version. That doubt creeps in, that fear creeps in. But we have to be the one to, overcome the fear, overcome the doubt, and understand that we have the ability to change anything, right? I believe for a long time, going back to myself again, through my awkwardness and um, just my ability with speaking and stuff like that. It was a big struggle for me, but I think now I'm just accepting it. You know what I'm saying? I'm accepting that I'm awkward as fuck. I'm accepting that I'm not a people person. I'm accepting that I'm not extroverted. I think it's okay to be by yourself. I think it's okay to be alone, and trying to find love in that and whatever that means to you. I think it's not trying to beat yourself up for the little fucking things, right? And just being able to, be present and be here and enjoy your own, just being able to be comfortable in your own skin. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think it's important that we love ourselves. I think it's important that we have to build something that not only lasts for, you know, this moment, but lasts forever. You know, to be present every moment that we are in and loving each and every part of ourselves, and understanding that it takes time and that we are going to make mistakes, and it's okay to feel the way you feel. If you don't love yourself, that's okay. Because I'll be honest, there's a lot of fucking times in my life where I didn't love myself, and I had to find that. You know what I'm saying? And everything takes fucking time. Whether you're doing it through something that you love, whether you know you're creative in what you do, whether you're an artist. I think artists, people who create, are the most doubtful in themselves, because they believe this thing that they make, that which is a part of them. It's like almost them being vulnerable enough. It's just this art. I think a lot of it, there is insecurity because we don't know if anybody's going to feel the same way. But I think a lot of times we have to be vulnerable. We have to be vulnerable. We have to try. And it's okay that, even if we don't connect with a certain person, that's okay. Maybe connect with somebody else. I know I'm not for everybody. Just like you might not be for everybody. But it's okay. I think it's important just to be yourself, and the right people will connect to you. You know what I'm saying? I think love is found in the process. I love this quote. Fear has obligations and expectations. Love has no obligations or expectations. I believe that we have to create our own self-confidence, and finding something that we love, whether it's just to be present, be out in fucking nature, do something that makes us feel good. It's just being here. You know what I'm saying? Being present. Breathing. I think a lot of times I forget, to be grateful. I think a lot of times I forget to fully just be immersed in the moment. I think a lot of times I get caught in my head so fucking much, and sometimes it's fucking hard. Um, but that shit's okay. I think if we have an idea in mind of what we want in this life, we can make it happen. It's just, we have to be the ones to be able to do it, right? And shit, I'll be honest, it's nice as fuck outside. I'm chilling, yo. I ain't gonna lie, I think like 8 planes passed in this fucking video, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But it's nice as fuck outside today. It's like 60 degrees in New York. We outside. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've been away. I've been wanting to make this video for a long time. I don't know why I've been procrastinating. I think, I ain't gonna lie, I think I've just been enjoying life. I think I've been trying to find fulfillment, trying to find myself, and I think with every step of the way, as long as you're trying, you can, find yourself if you feel lost. And yeah, so I'm not gonna hold you out for too long. This is a 9-minute video. I don't think I've ever made a 9 fucking minute video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do like this video, I hope you follow, subscribe, whatever it is, and I'll see you guys on the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys all later. Peace.